kind of describe the locker room and just how excited everybody is?
Yeah, everybody's excited. You know, we've been facing each other, and that's it for the past 5-6 months, it feels like. We're excited to see somebody else in another jersey, ready to be all in the same dugout, the same team, competing for one another rather than against each other. So we're ready to go.
What have you kind of learned about this team through all those, like you said, 5-6 months? I mean, you guys got some newcomers and obviously some returners, but what excites you about just the talent that you got on this particular team?
We brought in a lot of guys. You know, the first day we were here, I was trying to count the lockers, and it was 18 new guys. We brought in some transfers, some freshmen, some JUCO guys. Even today, we're still competing for spots, so it's a good thing to have. You know, there's no proof. There's only a few guys that are really like proving themselves and have their spot earned. So I think that says a lot about the new guys, and still some of the guys coming back that maybe didn't play as much last year, but they've come back in good shape, looking ready to go. So it'll be competitive. I think we brought in a lot of people that will really contribute this year.
Do you feel like you're sharper behind the plate this year? It looked like it this spring.
Yeah, I do. We worked really hard this fall. I wasn't able to throw as much this fall. Had some stuff going on with my arm, so we worked a lot on receiving. Got to get a lot of reps in hitting, but receiving has been the big focus. I've always been able to block, always been able to throw. We kind of tweaked some things, you know, different focal points with Coach Brewer, and I think it's really helped me. Still kind of getting into it, you know, learning all the new guys and stuff, but I do feel a lot better receiving-wise.
Blake, to the new guys, you got a lot of new guys to handle. I mean, maybe 5 or 6 true freshmen will have to get in there this year. Can you kind of touch on a guy or two that's kind of caught your eye?
Out of the new guys, Nick Monaster, you know, we knew he was going to come in. We weren't sure if he was going to be a hitter or pitcher, but for this year it looks like he's going to do both. On the mound, his last few outings, he's actually been one of the guys who have kind of had my number. He's looked really good. You know, he's throwing 3 pitches, landing them all. They're all really sharp. And then JB Middleton, you know, he's got a good mentality. He comes in, he's got a lot of arm talent, starting to land those off-speed pitches a little more, really kind of being polished. And that's kind of what we needed to see out of him in his last 2 or 3 outings. I think he's looked good. So those 2 are the 2 I'm most excited about.
What's it like for you when, I think, what is it, like 7 of the top 8 arms from last year? I mean, you're seeing just so many different arms. I mean, do you have to do anything on your end to try and help them along, or do you have to adjust?
One big thing, you know, as a catcher, we have to know our pitchers, kind of learning what makes them tick. You know, different guys, they function different ways. There's some guys that go out there and I can yell at them, punch them in the chest and tell them let's go. Other guys, you know, you got to pat them on the butt and say, all right, we're good. You know, so kind of learning their personalities, what makes them go. As for me, like receiving-wise, it's all pretty much the same. You know, different guys, balls do it a little bit different things, but it's more getting to know them, their personalities, and kind of how I can lead them in the right direction without us having to take a visit out there.
Can you kind of speak to maybe, notice there's some new rules going in this year. I mean, can you kind of speak to that and how y'all prep for it and maybe how that changes the game for you and your pitcher?
Yeah, one of the big ones is the time limit and the pickoff, the reset rule with pickoffs. We've had a couple of scrimmages where we've had umpires out here and they've really been kind of enforcing the rules. And that's the main thing is we had umpires the first day and we probably had 30 violations in 6 innings, and we were like, all right, we really got to harp on this. So we've got timers going every time we take the field. Between every pitch, we've got a timer running. Just trying to be prepared, you know. I'm sure we'll still have some hiccups here and there, and we'll learn from them as we go, but it is a big adjustment, just the tempo. You know, if we've got a miscommunication between me and Oz or me and the pitcher, there is no time to kind of calm things down and reset. It's like, all right, let's go with what we got. So, yep. But that's the biggest one right there, is just the time.
What's the pickoff rule? What's the new pickoff?
Don't quote me on this, but pitchers, they can only step off 1 time per batter, and it's called a reset. And then every other time they have to make an attempt to pick off the runner, and I think it's umpire discretion. So the umpire has to decide whether or not it was intentional to pick off the runner. So after you get 1 reset in the same batter, then once you use your reset, the next time you step off and don't make an attempt to pick the runner off, I'm pretty sure it goes in as a ball in the count. And then the same thing with hitters. If they don't get in the box in time, I'm pretty sure that gets counted a strike. So just trying to keep it rolling.
That's interesting.
Fan or not a fan?
I don't know. I mean, you know, everybody says baseball is a slow game, but like there's so much that goes into it. Sometimes you need time to kind of, especially as a hitter, when you get in the box, if you take the first pitch, we have scouting reports. You know, you kind of go through your checklist in your head, and now you're having to do that while that guy's starting his motion. So it kind of speeds you up, but, you know, that's part of the game. Everybody's dealing with it, so hopefully it won't be leaning one way or the other.
Kind of touch on what you've worked on offensively.
Yeah, one big thing that we really worked on last year is after I broke my hand, I was trying to pull the ball and like create pop rather than just kind of letting it happen. So this year we kind of worked on letting the ball get a little deeper, and it's helped me take pitches that aren't in the zone, taking breaking balls away from me, stuff like that. So more my approach, and then kind of tightening up the hands a little bit at the beginning of the swing, stuff like that. But nothing too crazy. Still the same swing, just kind of being more balanced and a little more picky, having a better approach in the box.
How is that hand?
It's good now. Every now and then, if I mess up in the weight room, I try and use that as a crutch, and that's about it there. But nah, it's all good. We rehabbed it really hard. You know, probably wasn't quite ready last year, but I kind of knew that I was needed. Coached about 20 games. I couldn't imagine having to do that. Just taking a beating on his body. So last year, I kind of tried to step in and come back early and help out, but as of now, it's good though. Over the summer and stuff, we really rehabbed it hard, and I think it's ready to go.